Oh, you so son. It's doing time, nigga.
For sure.
Um, did you ever get a chance to watch that video?
Yeah, I watched it.
Crazy.
Huh? Tell your side of the story of it,
It's
though.
crazy, ain't it? Yeah, my side is simple. You look at my hands, the cuffs behind my back. When the gun went off and you heard the boom, hands were behind my back. Cuffs.
So the question is,
When he jumps,
what even led up to you even the police even come looking for you?
I was wanted on a felony warrant for assault 2 and assault 1 out of Benton County. So they shipped me to Benton County for 6 months. They violated my speedy trial rights. I kept telling them, let's go to trial, let's go to trial. Finally, they dismissed the 2 cases without prejudice and charged me with the cops 6 months later. So this happened December 1st, 2022. They charged me June 5th, 2023. But at that time, March 20th, 2023, they knew they didn't have no DNA on the gun or the gun holster, and they still charged me.
Okay, because
Days after they realized, go ahead.
because on Google it said that you got into an altercation with a female in Kennewick, and
That was
the argument
for the assault too at 3 cities.
yeah, the argument got very heated, and it says on Google that that you put out a pistol or a gun on the broad,
Yep, and put it to her head.
right? And the security,
I got all the discovered on that. Yep.
yeah, the security had to stop it and tell you to leave. So
So
what happens after that? You know what I mean? What was you female?
So from there, I went home. See what I mean? This is what I'm saying about how they tried to do me. I guess allegedly they had to do, which was me. They're saying it was me. Was getting into it with a female, right? So then, from there, I'm at home. I don't know nothing about a warrant, so now you guys want me for a warrant, and you try to tell me how I allegedly did this at 3 cities.
So when they as I watched the video, you know what I mean. So when they came to apprehend you, you know what I mean. How is it that you still have the firearm that you pulled on the female in Kennewick still on you? Why didn't you like get rid of it, hide it or something?
I don't have that. I didn't have no gun on me at all. I was not armed. I didn't have no gun on me in Kennewick. I mean,
on Google it says that. On Google it says that you had a firearm. Huh?
Yeah, no. I had no gun on me out. They didn't find no gun on the crime scene at Miss Juanita's house. That's where I was at. They passed where they found where they ran up on me at. I had no gun on me, no nothing, no drugs, no nothing. I had nothing on me, unarmed black man.
So why was you resisting arresting?
I didn't know what they were doing. He's like, hands. I went to break on him. Sure. Not today. We fell to the ground. As we fell to the ground, one of them cops' guns and antennas was in the trigger guard. As he went to the trigger guard, he jumped on the plow while another guard had got the gun. Cop had his hand on the gun. When that antenna went into the trigger guard, me and my legal team believed that that's what made the gun go off, and he jumped on the pile.
Okay, so
by that time, I'm already cuffed.
all right, cool. So basically, you got 7 years in Walla Walla prison. You know what I mean? And if you want to let my audience know, you know what I'm saying, your name is right there, and where you locked up, your DFC number is right there, we can get that shit out the way.
Yeah, I'll send you all that stuff so you don't even.
You ain't gotta do it. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? How about let's get to the next topic. So when the police came to arrest you, right? You know what I mean? And you was resisting arresting and stuff. You know what I mean? And then by the time they got you down on the ground, it was like 3 police officers at first. And then the 4th one came in. right? So you're wrestling against a police officer, and so the gun gets fired off. You know what I mean? And it shoots the police officer in the leg, right? And okay, you got 7 years. You know what I mean for it. So you already been there for what? How many years you been in there for?
Yeah.
3.
I've not been in here 3 years. Yep, Walla
So
Walla State Prison.
so you only got 4 more years to go.
Yes.
All right. So now, if the if the gun had went off and it would have killed the police officer, and they would have blamed it on you, and then you doing life in prison without the possibility of parole, do you feel that that'd be totally different?
Definitely. It would be completely different, and my story would still be the same. Excuse me. It would, this has impacted everything I believe in. This has impacted my whole entire life. You know, you got an unarmed minority sitting in the penitentiary in Walla Walla. You know, this case was mind blowing to me. Like, I was in shock for the first year. I barely got out of shock around Christmas of last year. When it comes to cases like this, they're unique. Washington State believes if I hadn't tried to run and resist arrest, his gun would have never went through the holster and discharged while it was still in the holster.
Because as I look at the video, as he's going for his gun, it's like it might be a situation though, bro, that nigga, you could have been easily up out of here, like 6 feet under, bro. So it's like,
He could
you
have
know,
killed me.
huh?
Yeah, he could have killed me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know what I mean? Your story is out there. I see it. I see the videos out there. But the thing about the matter, though, you got lucky, you know what I'm saying, just to get 7 years. Because you could have got up out of here. Like that. If he was going for his gun and he shot himself, how it might have been. You know what I mean? You resisting arrest and you guys wrestling and all that shit you guys are doing. I don't know. But like you should just take that 7 years on the chin and say fuck it. You know what I mean?
So my thoughts were an hour before the jury came back with a guilty verdict. Marine Ashley, the Franklin County prosecutor, deputy, she said, well, we'll sign this 36 months and 42 months without a strike. I thought, an hour before this guilty verdict comes, I don't even know they're coming back an hour. I said, without a strike, 42 months. That means I got her beat right now. Which means if you're not guilty, why would you sign a deal? So you're right. I do look at 7 years as a blessing because I could have died. He could have died. Somebody could have lost their life. Yeah.
Right.
God bless him, it ain't.
Right.
You know, we got 10, 15 homeboys in here with LWATs. So, you know, I'm on F unit right now, you know. So it just goes down to there's so many what ifs. But you get to the black and white and get to the fact still remains that if this man's DNA is not on the gun or the gun holster as of right now, how can you blame him for allegedly shooting this cop? And then let's go back a little bit to this same cop that got on Jerome Prison, that killed Gabriel Art Diaz. These are Pasco men that live in Pasco. This cop he's I get lost for what in terms of Johnny Jones. You know, he went, okay, you go for a civil lawsuit. You file a civil lawsuit, right? Wrongful for House of Land for the gun holster being faulty. As soon as I get to College Bridge, you jump me for the lawsuit. Dismiss what I heard of it. If I allegedly shot you and I'm guilty, why would you dismiss me from a lawsuit? Because you know in your heart I didn't do nothing. So February 24th, 2023, no, 2024, sorry, you dismissed me from the lawsuit. This is the same lawsuit you had him come get me in Franklin County before I even went up to show. You see, this is recent. Now, where we're at, my case now is as far as the appeal goes. I'm waiting on Renee Munoz, which is the court reporter from Franklin County. I'm waiting on her to finish the trial transcripts. It's been 18 months and 2 days, according to my lawyer, after Friday. So, why am I waiting on trial transcripts if I'm so guilty? Because I got all three of you guys, the same officers, perjuring themselves, including Jeremy Jones, who lied on the stand in open court, and I got the doctor that took the bullet out of his kneecap, the neurosurgeon, telling me face to face, looking at the jury, saying, he told me he shot himself with his own gun. So she told you, you shot yourself with your own gun, and there's no DNA on the gun of the gun holster. Then you look at the video, my hands are cut behind my back. You gotta really look. That's 3 reasonable doubt. How did the jury out of Franklin County find me guilty? We all know the answer to that.
When you took it to trial, right? Did they have any minorities on the jury stand?
No.
Okay.
We had some Mexicans on there, but no, there was no one black. We know that goes crooked.
Okay, so I mean, I feel you. So what you talking about though? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they arrested you. You know what I mean? And they threw you in prison for 7 years. A police officer got shot. You know what I mean? You got 7 years for it. So I'm trying to figure out the dynamics. Like, what is the big issue? Because you lucky that you only got 7 years. You know what I mean? Because you could have got an aggravated assault on a police officer. You could have been there for, nigga, 15, 20 fucking years or something like that just on that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So what is it? What is it about?
The 3 points I brought up is what it's about. The last part is the jury found me guilty of assault to lesser included charge. My original charge was assault with unlawful possession of a firearm in the 2nd degree instead of the 1st degree because I didn't have a gun on me. That's how you get unlawful possession of a firearm in the 2nd degree.
But the broad that you was arguing with, in Kennewick at the bar or the pub, whatever you call it, she said that, you know what I mean, that she called the police. It says right there on Google that she called the police and said you pulled the gun out on her. So how is it that, you know what I mean, you pull a gun out on a broad, and you know what I mean, in a disputable argument, and then she called the police and they come track you down. They come track you down in Pasco. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to figure out, nigga, how they know where to go find them at? Did she know where you lived or something?
No, that's where everything gets shaky. So I'm like, let's go to trial. Same thing, Dayton County. All this is let's go to trial. Those are my answers. Let's go to trial at the time. When I say let's go to trial, she's nowhere to be found. She's nowhere to be testified. She ain't cooperating with the prosecutor, which told me, you're saying I'm automatically guilty. You're saying that I did this. Why aren't you coming to the police station to talk? Well, the reason you didn't go is because you had the wrong man. And that showed in my next case, which is how they brought up 3 cases forward. Again, assault 2, assault 1, and assault 1 on the cop. So they got up the next assault 1, and they picked me out of the lineup. Paperwork ain't adding up. Yeah, this is why I'm saying let's go to trial. They had the wrong person. See, so you guys have already slaughtered me. Defamation of character. You have no proof saying I put a gun on a woman, let alone shot somebody, let alone pulled a gun on you. You know what Google's saying. Now let's go to the facts of the black and white. I got 55 pages of discovery for that case. I got 25 pages of discovery for the cop case. That's it. They don't have nothing. They never had nothing. They were fishing. It was a fishing expedition. So that's why they tried to hold the cop case in their back pocket and bring it up later. So when they brought it up later, as you see they did, let's go to trial. They had an assault 1. They wanted 36 to life if found guilty by a jury of my peers. They got the lesser included. That's reasonable.
36 years. 36 years of life. Does it offer me
36 years to life is what they offered me at the time. If I lost at trial, I was looking at 36 years to life. I only got the 7 years, 8 months because they gave me the lesser included, which goes to them doubting their own case. Why would you give me the lesser included or give me an option or a way out if I'm so guilty? See, we went for the lesser included assault 3. Where the answer's like, well, I'm going to add assault 2 and assault 3 and amend the charges so the jury can just pick it. They can't find me guilty of assault 1. They didn't agree on it. They go to assault 2 automatically. 27 jury instruction. If they can't find him guilty of assault 2, they go to assault 3. They found him guilty of assault 2, they all met in the middle on 12 jurors. So again, there's totally reasonable doubt. If I allegedly shot your brother, or your mom, or your dad, or your son, or your good friend, or your company, you're not going to want to give me justice. You're not going to want to give me a way out. Why would you give me an assault 2 if I'm so guilty? Because you know I'm not guilty. Okay, let's say you can say whatever. We can sit here and do the what ifs for hours. Black and white. No DNA on the gun on the gun officer. You told the doctor you shot yourself with your own gun. On that dash camera video, you do not see me reach or touch the gun at all. So how did you find me guilty at trial, Franklin County?
Because the video shows you resisting arrest, dog. You know what I mean? What I mean, when she sent me the video, your wife sent me the video. I had to watch it, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? A few times, over and over and over again. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I sent it to my people just right there to see if I missed something. You know what I mean? Like I said again, I'm from Pasco, so like I said again, to see if I missed something. But I'm like, damn, nigga resisting arrest, and he, you know what I mean? I mean, when the police show up on him, it's there, nigga, you should have been like, you know, I'm good, you know what I'm saying? But what tripped me out is right there, like, if a motherfucker looking at 36 years of life in prison is right there to get found guilty, why didn't you not take the plea deal? And to say, fuck it.
If you're not guilty, why would you sign a deal and admit to being guilty of something you know you can do? Just because you want to get out and go home?
So you think you won or something? Yeah, I think you got out pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of people tell me that every day. They say, man, I'm doing 50 years, so I got to shoot out. I hear it all the time, but a lot of people see my case. They see my discovery that I got right here in my hand, and they're like, I would have went to trial too. See, they just hear a deal for 36, and they see what they see in Google and read what they read. When you look into this case particularly and do your homework, it doesn't add up. Why would you take a deal for 36 months to what? To go home? And then now, you still got a 10-year no contact order with Franklin County Pasco Police Department, and everybody's saying you allegedly shot a cop, and you know in your heart you didn't, so you signed that deal, right? That video would have never surfaced. Right now, you wouldn't have that video if you signed that deal.
But the video's not on YouTube or no other platform. It's just on your wife's Facebook. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't share it with nobody or nothing like that. Unless you do your thing.
Private videos, lawyers, other lawyers out of state. You know, I mean.
So what's your plan when you get out? What's your plan when you get out?
I got my PDL, drive truck. I got my PDL since I was 21 years old.
You got your what?
I'm now 30. My PDL.
On a CDL.
CDL.
Yeah,
I got my commercial driver license. Yeah.
Okay, so get back to your cases right there. So are you appealing your case or something like that, whatever?
Yeah, I'm in a direct appeal right now, and that goes back to what I was saying about Renee Munoz. She's been continuing my trial transcripts, the completion of my trial transcripts since January 2023 or 2024.
Okay. All right. So
you have a year to direct appeal your you have a year for your direct appeal. And the thing is I can't file my brief and my direct appeal if I don't have my trial transcripts, which means every word that was typed up at trial. If you don't have your trial transcripts, you can't start your appeal. I was in 18 months, and I still can't start my appeal. This lady is maliciously holding this paperwork, and I've called the prosecutor's office, I've talked to lawyers, I've sent a motion to Division 3 Court of Appeals, and they've given her 9 continuances to the date. And fined her now $1,000 for not completing the trial transcripts. And that's again out of Franklin County, the same agency that I allegedly shot one of their own.
Yeah, man, I feel you.
So, you know, it's a sore subject and it's hard to touch because it gets me back into a place that I tried to step out of, and I've been working on it. And I say that to say this. When you look at the case, you see a black man breaking the law, you probably see a felon, you probably see this, you see a abusive man because a woman allegedly had a gun pulled on her, but see, when you look into the end of it, the result is I was never convicted or found guilty, innocent until proven guilty. More like guilty is black. So now you see this cop shot himself with his own gun. It was an accidental officer-involved shooting. It had nothing to do with me. Oh, yeah, it did because I was resisting arrest. Okay, resisting arrest is only 30 to 90 days. I don't have no points. I don't have a record. So if resisting arrest only 30 to 90 days for me, I would have took a bill for resisting arrest 90 days in jail. I had over 8 months credit for time served out of my home. I accept resisting an arrest. And I told the prosecutor that. My words, I said, I accept resisting an arrest, but other than that, I'm not pleading guilty to nothing else. They didn't give me action. So, I own up to resisting an arrest. I don't own up to shooting an officer, let alone I don't own up to having a gun while in the course of these crimes happening. And these other crimes, I don't own up to pulling a gun on a woman. There's nothing after that. You have this all on the news and Google, but the end result is dismissed. Okay, dismissed, dismissed, dismissed. That's why I went to trial in Franklin County. When you don't do something, and you know you don't do something, and in your heart you know you're innocent, you're not going to take a deal. Which is what society now does these days. We all do it. Oh, yeah, I just want to go home. Yeah, I'm trying to go to McDonald's. I need a Big Mac. So I'm going to sign this deal real quick and get up out of here. I'm not. I'm already here.
Well, you know,
and that's what everybody asks me. They say it all the time. Well, why didn't you just sign a deal? But nobody even knows they offered 36 months. The first deal she offered was 13. No points for an assault one is like 9 years for me or something like that. I don't remember the logistics no more. It's just been so long. I
years, you know, 6, 7 months.
Yeah, see?
My first rate pay. I did 136 months.
They've been real well next out of Franklin County. Deshaun Anderson, 99 years, same prosecutor, Marine National. Antoine of it, 60 years, just got all his time back. He got 15 years left. Again, Marine National, it's the same prosecutor. Andy Davis, Marine National, all 4 black men out of Franklin County, all went to trial, Marine National. One of them got their time back so far, and there's 3 more to go. Me, Devontea Wright, Eddie Davis, and Lance Hornady. All from Franklin County. All with the same prosecutor. Racially biased, Marine Ashley. Defamation of character, Marine Ashley. And that's the case with Lance. He has 60 years, just got all that time back. He has 15 years left, but not 15 left. Now he got 4 left. They've been well outside of Franklin County for years. In this case, we dated back to 2013. So that was 12 years ago, over a decade ago. So when I got into this case and I started doing my legal work, my homework, these were the end results. This is what I came up with. There's no black jurors in Franklin County.
But you're not even from Pasco.
I was born in Yakima.
Oh, you was born in Yakima?
Born in Yakima.
Yeah, Yakima, you know me, was cracking. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, but you're not, yeah, man, you mean, you know, it is what it is, but, you know what I'm saying, at least you got the 7 years, so, you know what I'm saying, like, bro, you should just roll with that, you know what I'm saying, just, when you get out and shit like there, man, just, just get back to what you gotta do and stuff like that, you know, because, bro, there's motherfuckers around the world. I do podcasts with people, you know what I mean, around the world that's in prison, and they don't have no release date. You know what I mean? And those are the type of people that, you know what I mean, I try to get on my podcast. You know, those who, you know what I mean, who ain't got a release date. You feel me? life in prison without the possibility of parole. Four life sentences without the possibility of parole, things like that. So you'll be all right. I mean, bro, you only got 4 more years to go anyway. So I don't think that your appeals are gonna come faster within 4 years, because if that's the case, then you should have took 36 months. If that's the case, but I understand. But what's up though, man? You got the floor, man. You got to speak about it.
A lot of people take this. A lot of people they take this life for granted, you know. And when they get locked up, they think about what they should have did and what they could have been doing. When the police ran up on me, I was a dog breeder. I'm still a dog breeder. LLC registered. Already had my CDL. I've already been driving truck. So they didn't just run up on somebody smoked out on the street doing nothing. I already had stuff going on. I still have stuff going on sitting right here, a business owner. You know, some people may look at it like, 7 years, 8 months is a little baby time, and I'm around lifers all day. Them same lifers is the same ones that look at my case. They're the same ones that go over this case and they see the injustice. They see that this dude, I mean, there's so many what ifs. It's so much. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. Everybody's going to wish. Everybody's going to wonder. What I know is I'll be free. And what I know is that I'm going to continue to progress in life. And what I also know is that this isn't going to be a revolving door. That's what I do know. Because I've already been took the steps and been on getting out, staying out,
right,
and being a productive member of society.
Right. The reason why you think like that, the reason why you think like that is because, you know what I mean, the police officer didn't die. You know what I mean? If that would have happened, bro, you would have had no chance of seeing motherfucking the streets ever again. Let's get that straight. For real. You know what I mean? So you're you got release dates, man, and you know what I mean, you gotta make it to your best ability. You know what I mean, you know what I mean, to take one step at a time and everything like that. But I would, if I was you, I wouldn't be trying to throw up in the Franklin County Police Department's face like they did you wrong and things like that, because you know, I mean, it could go worse from there. You know what I'm talking about?
I already opened that door.
Because, but you know what? You got lucky though, bro. Me and my people was talking about this shit, bro. You got lucky, bro, because if he was getting ready to pull out his gun, you know what I mean, but he accidentally shot himself, then that means that if he didn't accidentally shoot himself, then you would have been out of here, bro. So you gotta count your blessings, my nigga. You know what I mean? I don't know you, I never met you or nothing like that, but shit. But, you know what I mean? You probably just gotta count your blessings, my dog, you know what I mean? For real. Because there's so many people around the world that
you have 1 minute left.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man, but this phone about to hang up, though, you know what I mean? So, you know, but I hear you, though, you know what I mean?
I appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm in Washington State Prison. My DLC is 440538.
Do you want to give a quick shout out to your peoples out here, your loved ones and shit?
Yeah, and then I give a shout out to my son Major. You know, he's 4 years old. His birthday's May 28th, and I give a shout out to all my family. You know, mom, dad, friends, cousins. You know, big shout out to every Davis fan. You already know we coming home. It's good. Coming back on the field. We don't touch me out.
For sure.
You know what it is.
For sure.
Bad, man. Keep pushing, you know. And
yeah.
Everybody that's locked up, man, all my guys are doing elbows, man. Just stay strong, stay down.
Yeah, for sure.
All
right, man.
Monster, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for calling in and stuff like there, man. If you want to call back, you can call back. You know what I mean?
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.